'Cause I think we're all an underdog. I think the top CEO on the planet Earth still has that doubt. We're all underdogs. Whether you're underdog because you put yourself there to be hungry, or you're just a real life underdog. We're all an underdog. And one thing I know is we all have an equation. We all have an equation. Like, I'll talk about 3.14 is pi. There's different equations to figure out different kind of, mathematical problems. We as human beings are mathematical problems. I cannot give you a book for everybody in this world. It's not like you do these 5 steps, you're good. No, I'm helping you figure out your equation because it's different. My equation is different from your equation. What's gonna make you tick? What's gonna make you go the distance? What's gonna make you go to that spot in hell and say, I love this spot? It's okay. Because once you figure out the equation in any math problem, you no longer fail, man. You got it figured out. I had to reinvent a human being. I sat at home for so many nights by myself, broken, not just physically, mentally, spiritually, but then I sat back and said to myself, I was fat, nasty, out of shape, miserable, and created a human being in my mind that didn't even exist and said, that's what I want to be. I want to be that guy. I want to be a guy that's capable of doing exactly what I'm doing today. If you weren't born that guy, that mentally strong guy, he can be made. It can be made. But in making that person, you have to be able to turn down book deals. You have to be who you are every day of your life and never care about anybody who gets in your way that said you're not doing something the proper way. I was always afraid of people. Like when you get beat as bad as I did, I lied all the time. I wanted to be accepted and loved, that I created about 50 people. Whatever you like, I like. Just if you would be my friend, just be my friend. And that's where we get lost in life. All this stuff that you all have heard about my life growing up, it's at the surface. That's real. The journey I had to go through to get to that point. And along that journey, I figured out myself. And the biggest trophy I'll ever get in my entire life was really figuring out me. And when I was up on that stage, I realized that. I realized it's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about being accepted by your peers and everybody else. It's about figuring out who I am and being happy with who I am. Even though I'm going to be judged for all these things, being able to put a middle finger up to everybody and say, this is David Goggins. And to get to that point, it felt great. We have to be able to go through our journeys in life, figure out who we are, and help the person beside you figure out how they can do that themselves. You have to really be honest with yourself. And the one thing I was very fearful of was being honest with myself. I was the world's best liar. So you have to go back into that nasty past of your life to fix it. You have to be willing to talk about your past. I'm not saying on the platform that I'm doing it on, but I'm saying that you have to own it. And until you own your past and own the fact that no, a lot of your past didn't come from you. A lot of past may come from your mom, your dad. You may have a drug addiction, alcohol addiction. You may have been sexually abused, mentally abused, physically abused, whatever it comes from, bullied, whatever. It's now yours, man. No one's coming to help you. No one's coming to save you. It is now yours to own. And you have to find the courage to face that. And that's why I talk so much about the past. And you have to stop being afraid of what other people think about you. Stop being afraid of being judged. Stop being afraid of what people are going to think about you once they know who you are, know where you come from, know what you've struggled with, know your journey. You got to stop, man, because I tell you right now, those people who are judging you, I know for a fact that every one of you out there has a past. They just do a better job of hiding it. They just don't want to talk about it. So no matter who you're talking to, no matter who's hearing this, every one of you out there has lied. Every one of you out there is not perfect. Every one of you is hiding behind something. And once you come out from hiding, you can start fixing yourself. I used to look at my life from a different vantage point. And when you're in all the muck, and you're just walking in muck and walking in muck and walking in muck, you don't see that if you look off to the left of the muck, there's a sidewalk, brother. Get off of it. You have your head down looking in this muck. Once I saw the sidewalk, got the sidewalk, I got a little break. And I got a different vantage point. And then from the sidewalk, I found a cliff. Then I found a mountain. I got way up high on top of my life and looked back down on it and said, okay, I got to figure this out, man. I'm not going anywhere. I'm starting to lie. So when you have a messed up foundation, I started lying about everything. I wanted people to like me. I wanted to be accepted in some society of life, some social society. I was like, man, this isn't the right way. I'm messed up here. I'm messed up here. I'm messed up everywhere. And so I realized the worst thing that happened to me is I lost myself. I never had myself. I never found myself. I had no self-esteem. So I knew through working out and through learning, because it took a lot for me to learn also, I started finding self-esteem. Once I found that, that's when doors started opening up. I stopped caring about people, that what they thought, being judged. Wow, if I say this, if I started right now, are you gonna make fun of me? I stopped caring about that. And that's when my life started really changing for me, slowly but surely. Being accepted is one thing that killed me. You have to learn, what do you want in your life? We have so much influence coming at us that we are so lost. We don't know what we want to do because we don't spend enough time with ourselves. You have to learn to shut off a phone, shut off a computer, shut off a TV. And it's okay to sit in a room by yourself in a chair and just think about you, where I want to be, where do I see myself tomorrow, the next year from that. And it takes a lot of self-discipline to be able to do that nowadays because you want to be so attached to everything. You want to be so caught up with the world. The world's moving too fast. The world's moving so fast that you're trying to keep up to the point where you lose yourself in the world. So you have to take that time and go to that dark place in your mind and discover who you are. You start to create a whole bunch of people that aren't even yourself. You never figure out who you are. You never live up to your dreams, your ambition. You live up to what whoever is around you that you like so much, that you want to emulate and be like so much, you live their dreams. So you lose your power.
The most important conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. You wake up with it, you walk around with it, you go to bed with it. Eventually you act on it, whether it be good or bad. There's haters everywhere in this world. People trying to get in your head. The one thing you got to understand is this: they're trying to infiltrate your mind. What a lot of boxers do to get away from distractions is they go away before a big fight. A lot of us can't do that. We have to be able to live amongst distractions and be undistracted. Stay in your own mind. Don't let them own yours.